Hi there. Tonight I'm going to do a project / tutorial. Prom season is coming up, and I guess wedding season as well. A lot of people get married in the spring and summer. So this is EL wire. It's the standard, so it's not welted. It's 2.5 meters. This is the controller, and I'll turn that on and when I put the lights off so you can see the difference. I'm using white. I figure it's a safer bet to try just the whitish light than to introduce a color on this that someone may not like, because I'm going to put this in my window. If they want a color, they can order the color. This is Scala thread. So I'm going to be hand sewing this because this double-breasted tuxedo top or suit jacket is lined and it has a bunch of pockets in it. You don't want to put it on the machine with a piping foot and zigzag. You're going to encase a lot, you might get things caught in, and a lot of the jacket will become unusable. There's a lot of pockets in the front that people value. Let's see, so that's a better shot of that. So it's nearly invisible thread, Scala. I use it on my blind hammer foot machine, and it is very strong and it is invisible, so it sews really well. And I will show you how to put the wire on with some pins. So I'll get all that set up and I'll come back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pinned some of the wire on here. So I will shut the light off so you can see what it looks like. So that's a flashy mode, and we'll just leave it like that. So there's a couple of principles you want to employ when you are putting this on. So because it's 2.5 meters fixed, we want to make good use of it and not start at one end and kind of have some regrets where either we ran out or we had too much. So what I've done is I've put I've put the battery pack in here in the pocket because I know I want that there, and that's easy access. You actually don't even need to put your hands in the pockets to turn the button on. And then I've ended the other one over here, just the end here, that little nub, at this other button. So my idea is to kind of have them shooting out of the buttons. Also this stuff, so if you start here and end here and you work end to end, then you know what you're dealing with on the back, and then you can play with it and experiment in different curves. And then I am going to bring this over here and show you how to put these pins in. So you can't tape this stuff down. It is wire, so it wants to go where it wants to go. I mean, I could probably tape it down with duct tape, but you're going to leave that stuff in the garment, and the painter's tape just isn't strong enough. So let's see. Let that adjust. Okay. So the way you lock these in is you get a general curve that you like, and you take these pins and basically you're creating a wall on each side of the EL wire, and be very careful to not prick the wire. Then you go right over it, and then you pick up just a little bit of the fabric on the other side. And I did them about sometimes 2 inches, sometimes 4 inches. Depends where the curve is, depends if the button is anchoring it. And it holds it down pretty nicely. You want to keep all these in as you're sewing because it will move a little bit. So these are just kind of training it, and it helps you do your design before you commit with the sewing. So let me just stop this, get my needle all threaded, and show you what I think is the best way to sew this on. Okay, so I have my needle here and my thread. This thread is pretty nice. Like I said, it's very strong. It's pretty invisible. And I don't know, maybe it is just like a single strand because it doesn't fray. So you want to make a knot. Let's see if I can get in there. So the way you do that, the way I do it, is you have an inch tail over here. You wrap it around and you roll it quite a bit. Squeeze and roll it right off. And then you just lock it with your fingernail. So you do want to start behind the jacket. And then I'll show you how to. So I'm just going to unbutton so I can access in there. Okay, so I've started this. I'm going to adjust this camera. It's kind of too close up. Oops. Okay. So I started it on the other side. I may go back and reinforce this, but I just want to show you. So you kind of want to sew, you're doing an overcast stitch. So you want to go, you don't want them too close together or this will take you just too long. And you also don't want them too far apart or it won't lay stable. It won't quite be attached. Because there's a few layers to this, you don't actually have to put your hand behind it. So you just want to pick under there, kind of go at an angle, and then come up. So you want to try to get your stitches as hidden as possible. This thread has a sheen to it, and the light may be picking it up more than I can see it. So the stitches are not quite a ½ inch distance from each other on each side. So I'm kind of going at an angle, locking this all in. And I will time this to see how long it takes for me to do a certain amount, and then I'll let you know. So you can expect to know how long a project like this will take. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the wire on the back and get this all stitched up. And I'll come back and show you what it looks like and let you know any problems that I came across. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so I finished sewing the EL wire on. I'll get up close. You can see the stitching if you get close enough. So what I ended up doing is I would, let's see, just to show an example. I would stitch from here to about here, about 8 inches, and then backtrack, just to kind of double it up. So essentially you've got, see if you can see that. So it's kind of X'd on, so it's nice and stable. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. It's strong thread anyways, but this really has sealed in the curve nicely. So going up and back about 8 to 9 inches was not quite 10 minutes. So it goes pretty quickly. You start to get better at it the more you do it. So that's the front. And I'll show you the back, and then I will turn it on. Let's see. So that's the back. So I just kind of brought it around the arms and then just did this nice design. I kind of like that. Almost seems like there should be some buttons here. So I could do that with LEDs. But it's something that you want to kind of discuss with the customer, and they might want even some more modifications. So let me turn it on. Let's see. So that's the flashy. And let me turn the lights off. Okay, it's so cool at night. So those two lines are just kind of where the shoulder dips in. You wouldn't see that if the person's wearing it. And I haven't seen it yet on the front, so let me flip it around. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool. Okay, so I'm back. Sometimes you have to not be afraid to take apart something if you don't like it. So originally I didn't want to do the obvious and follow the contour of the collar, but I didn't really like the curvy line. It's too far out, and it's a small size, so it just didn't look good when it was on. So I've done this. So I took it apart. I mean, it's actually pretty easy. So I took it apart and I made my own lapel shape. And so now I will take apart the other one and finish it off. See you in a bit. Okay, so I finished that. So I like this better. It's more obvious, but at night it really makes more sense. And I like how it's offset because it is a double-breasted. And this way it also looks good when it's not on and you can see the wires. So that's my final version, and maybe I'll move on to a next project for the girls.